Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to be here talking about a 5K. Those of you who know me know I love to do and participate in 5Ks, but I'm here with Craig Moody. He is the OPPD board member and event co-chair with his wonderful wife, Emily. And also joining us is Major Adam Moore, the Salvation Army TSA coordinator. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Happy to be here.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about, so heat the streets, run, walk for warmth, which means you can either run, you can walk, you can jog. I do a little bit of everything when I'm out there, but it's typically the first Saturday in March, and that's coming up March 5th at Exarban Village. But Craig, let's go to you. Why is this event so important?
Well, because we see pretty clearly that utility assistance is needed. The misperception right now is that the pandemic is over and things are back to normal, and there's not a need. There's still a dramatic need for utility assistance. And so we want to do everything that we can to raise money to provide that utility assistance directly to both OPPD and MUD customers.
Yeah, because it really is. I mean, it's a year long. I mean, it's a 365-day a year issue / need for
Yes.
in the community.
Yeah, it absolutely is. We're raising, and part of the reason that we do this event now, right, is because it's more acute for people in the cold, right? If they are unable to pay their utility bill, and they don't have the electricity, the natural gas to keep their homes warm. So it's a particular problem this time of year, but to your point, it lasts all year long. We see it, throughout the entire year.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Major Moore. How has the pandemic increased the need? I know Craig talked a little bit about that, but how the increased need and kind of how the Salvation Army fits into all of this.
Yeah, well, we've been supporting Heat the Streets and been engaged since its beginning. And so we're very grateful for the partnership, to be a part of things that happen the day of the run. While folks are running, we're hoping that they don't need hot chocolate, but we have that in the plans. Yep. But we serve water and some carbs for folks. When it comes to a 5K, I'm more of a 0.5K donut run kind of guy. So we'll be at the canteen handing out and supporting all of those runners who understand fully that this isn't just a great Saturday to get out and to go for a run and enjoy the village and that part of our community. But that's an investment that they're making in a unique way in our most marginalized neighbors who deal with the insecurity of utilities. And as we've already talked about, that's something that we face all year long, and that we at the Salvation Army have the opportunity to respond to. During the cold, everyone takes for granted that the heat's going to kick on, and when we go to the light switch, that when we flip it, that lights are going to come on. But for some of our marginalized neighbors, kids just doing homework, with the thought of them not having electricity just absolutely baffles my mind. That in 2022, that would be something that we would be responding to. But I'm so grateful that we have a community here in Omaha that does so wonderfully. I also think about in the middle of the summer when we don't think that it would be so important to have utilities, but that's a very important time as well, because we have several of our senior citizens or our more experienced neighbors in our community that staying cool and being able to have fresh air moving around their house is so vital to their well-being. And even that becomes a life safety issue for us and for them as well. So we're grateful for the partnership. We indeed have seen the need increase by 20 or 30%. And in fact, we was just looking at some numbers the other day, and since COVID began, we've served more than 55,000 grab-and-go lunches to individuals who wouldn't have opportunity to eat if we weren't providing this service for one reason or another. We're also seeing a 15 to 30% increase and individuals coming to us for utility assistance and all of those types of things. So one, it's an exciting event. Two, it's very, very timely. And it isn't about this little window in March that we get to talk about it, but this has year-round impact, and we're so very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, living here, Nebraska, the Midwest, we've seen weather warnings where we've got, advisories or warnings because it's so cold. And then, then we're experiencing 50, 60-degree weather. And then in the summer, it's just, it's this up and down. And you have to just be prepared for just kind of extremes oftentimes. But let's talk a little bit about, because I look at this as kind of a family gathering. Is that a true statement, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. Kid friendly, bring the kids on down. We hope to see a lot of kids there. Children under 12 receive a free registration with a paid adult. So bring all of the kids. Again, we want it to be accessible for everyone, right? So there's the 5K for those that want to take it a bit more seriously, but for those that want the shorter version, there's a mile walk. Whatever you want to do, we certainly want to see as many kids, and there's lots for kids to do down there as well at Exarban. So we would love to see kids there.
Yeah, because it's really somewhat of I don't want to necessarily call it a festival, but it honestly is a festive occasion. And you're getting together, and like you said, I'm looking over this way because I've got the website over here, heatthestreetsomaha.com. And again, the event, the 5K, that you can walk it, and there's really not a time limit. So it really is, enjoy yourself, or you can actually do it virtually if you don't live in Omaha, or you live out, in an area that you just, I don't want to drive in, but I want to support this and do it virtually.
That's right. And, there's still a pandemic. And so we want to make sure that everyone is safe. We're very much being mindful of what COVID case rates are. And if we need to adjust, we certainly will. At this point, you're right. There is an in-person event planned. Looks like that's where we're going to go, but there's also the virtual option as well. The event was entirely virtual last year and went extraordinarily well. So we know that it can work in that sense. And to your point, if you're in Florida and you want to contribute, participate, and support this community because you love it like I do, then absolutely participate, and you can get your 1K in or your 1 mile in from wherever you are.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about how much you're hoping to raise this year from this event.
Well, last year as an anchor point, it was just over $100,000 that was raised. Because the need is there and is growing, we set a goal to get to 300,000 this year. So very, very big vision for what we're going to do. We're working really hard to solicit not only people to come participate in the run, but also sponsorships go a long ways to helping us achieve that number. So again, we're trying to match the dollars raised to the need in the community, and as we've said, it's growing, and we're trying to grow how much we're raising as well.
And Major Moore, let's talk I know, Salvation Army, they're going to be there, and like you said, potentially, there's be hot chocolate to hand out, and just to have your presence there, because this is raising funds for those you serve. Do you want to add anything to that?
Again, we're very, very grateful. And just a reminder is that 75% of our neighbors live from paycheck to paycheck, regardless of the income levels that they have. And so the folks that we're seeing served at the Salvation Army isn't our traditionally marginalized, but maybe new folks dealing with some financial difficulties because of the pandemic. Or there's been lots of talk since the first of the year about inflation. And the cost of utilities, that some folks are paying 2 to 3 times the amount that they had been budgeting for or that they had been expecting. And so again, bumping the goal up to that sounds like a huge goal of 300,000, and that is an awful lot of money. But what I know about our friends here in Omaha, that they're so very generous, and that it's just not about raising money, but those dollars and cents are transforming to improving the quality of lives of our neighbors. And so we just encourage you to get online, sign up, come out on the 5th, run your little hearts out, walk it out, make a day of it. But the Salvation Army is so very grateful, first of all, for this partnership, and then to represent every single runner to those families that we serve as we're meeting this the most basic needs of a warm place to stay with some lights on. Again, that I am often guilty of just taking for granted. That's a challenge that, I think about kids with families and seniors. That's a challenge that just breaks my heart that they would even have to consider or think about or make a choice about, right? Do I pay the utility bill or do I put gas in the car? Those are real life choices, and that Heat the Streets helps us to make those choices a little easier for our most marginalized neighbors.
Absolutely. And I do want to add one of the things, I just love about this. Does anybody know what year this is? I feel like I should
15.
know that.
This is 15th
Okay.
year. Yeah.
15 year. And again, you can also donate in addition to just signing up for the 5K. There's some volunteer, your website, again, you can shop on here, look at sponsors, you can become a sponsor, volunteer, register. But you're also, the thing I love about this and the 5K, you're out there moving your body. So it's the whole health and wellness piece to raising money for those in need, and then doing something just good for yourself.
Yeah.
Just kind of, to me, puts a nice, beautiful little Salvation Army red bow on it. So your colors are orange and blue. So do you encourage people to dress up at all, or like to, sometimes people, dress in costumes. I can't remember, honestly, if anybody does it for this.
Yeah, I don't recall, but we're not going to discourage them from dressing up, right? Like we want this to be a fun event for a serious cause,
sure.
right?
Absolutely.
So let's have some fun with it.
Absolutely. Well, we've got about 30 seconds left. Any last words, Craig?
No, I would just express some gratitude for everybody involved in pulling this event together. I was just on a steering committee meeting this morning. There are a lot of really great, smart, passionate people from both MUD and OPPD working on this. So I'm very thankful for all of the work that's going into helping people.
Well, thank you both for joining me today. I will see you on March 5th. And again, head to the website, sign up, and let's all make a difference. So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And
God bless.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, hello, everyone. I am here with Kelsey Ritter. She is the Senior Director of Development at Omaha Home for Boys, OHB, and a fairly new position for you because I've known you, you were over at the Heart Association. So it's great to see you, and welcome to Metro TV, and welcome to Omaha Home for Boys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't, just maybe briefly take a few seconds just to tell us, you came over here 4 months ago, and lots happening as we're going to find out. But do you want to just, before we dive into the event piece of it, just tell us anything about you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I have been fundraising in the Omaha community for the past 10 years. And Omaha the community is of course so generous and so philanthropic. So lucky to be here and be doing work here. I joined Omaha Home for Boys, like you said, about 4 months ago, and really their local impact and their mission is really what drew me there. And so, when you have an organization that has been around for 100 years, there's a lot of credibility there. They've done great work over the 100 years, and excited to see, where we go in the future with it as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that 100 years, because that is the milestone that they've been celebrating for a couple of years now, because they had their huge celebration scheduled for the fall of 2020. But like most nonprofits, or honestly, almost all of the nonprofits, were either choosing a virtual component or they were just rescheduling. And because this is such an important milestone, rescheduled to 2021 twice and then rescheduled again. But we've got this great event coming up on March 8th. So let's talk about let's just talk about turning 100 years old. I mean, I know you're new to the organization, but I'm sure that you are very much in tune with what's going on in that 100-year milestone.
Yeah, absolutely. So 100 years ago, we were built, and we started as an orphanage for wayward and homeless boys, and really from there have extended our services that we offer and the demographic that we serve across the community and across the state. And we have more programs as well. And so we still have that same residential care group home piece that we started with, but really our expansion of services and that continuum of care is really, we've had a lot of programs add on, which has been great. Things that help with housing, basic life skills, education, employment, transportation, just really, helping kids that are coming out of foster care and what are those next steps to lead them to independent lives. So we have a lot of great programs, and excited to see where that goes in the future, the next 100 years as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, the celebration is coming up on March 8th. You have Michael Orr. He is the guest, the keynote, and let's tell us a little bit about him for those who may not know him, but he is very well known and an inspiring individual.
Yes, he is. He's very he has a great story to tell for sure. And so we're so excited to have him. Very genuine, very down to earth, very kind. And so we're excited to have him come and share his story, not only with the youth and the young adults that we serve, because I think that that's going to be incredibly inspiring and important for them to hear, but also share that with the whole community, and how it's not just our job to do what we do for the community, but how it's everybody's job to step in and help these youth and young adults as well. And so yeah, Michael Orr went from the streets of Tennessee to the NFL, and with lots of hard work. And he got help around 16, and many people would say that if you don't help children when they're young, there's no hope. But that's certainly not true. That's not the mission that we live by, and that's certainly not what happened for him. So we're really excited to bring him in. He's going to have a keynote speech that he's worked hard and tailored just for us and for our audience. We also have people who purchased VIP tickets that are going to have the opportunity to do a meet and greet with him, before the lunch starts from 10:30 to 11:30. So we've actually had people come from all over the place. I got a call from a lady in Minnesota who said, we're so excited to come. I'm going to bring, this young man with me who, I think would really benefit from hearing and meeting Michael. So we have people coming from all over to hear him.
Yeah, first of all, that's so wonderful. Again, I'm so excited coming up on March 8th. I'm glancing over this way because I am on your website, the Omaha Home for Boys website, which is ohb.org. Lots of great information, but also you can get tickets here as well. And like you said, it is a luncheon, and it's at the CHI Health Center in Omaha. And there's a great video on here from Michael, and really, how many people are you expecting? Are you hoping? Is it close to being sold out? Is it sold out? I mean, tell us a little bit.
We do still have, the great thing about the CHI Health Center is, it's a big venue, which is fantastic. So we do still have tickets and sponsorships available. Right now we're looking at expecting around 600, okay. But the great thing is that number can grow a little bit too. So we do still have some tickets available, but we have had a lot of those, a lot of tickets being purchased the last couple days as well. So as promotion has been happening.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, not just pandemic wise, but a lot of time people are just kind of last minute. You get about a month out and people start, oh my gosh, I need to purchase my tickets. So
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, again, you talked about how this, how this helps the youth in Omaha. Are there specific programs? I mean, I know you guys have a ton of programs, but any ones you want to shout out about right now?
Yeah, we have lots of different programs. We have our residential living program that serves, youth that are in that 14 to 18 range. We have Jacob's Place, which is a really great program. It really focuses on foster care children and what happens after they come out of the foster care system. And so a lot of times those youth are finding, we serve both males and females in that program. And a lot of times those youth are homeless, don't have education, don't have a support system at all. So really we offer housing for them, opportunity to get involved in education, help them find a job, workforce readiness classes, and then just a lot of basic life skills as well of how to budget, how to grocery shop, and making sure that they're just overall safe and have their basic needs met before we move on to some of those other goals. And so the goal of that program is to transition them into independent adults who then can go on and, get an apartment and be safe and have shelter in a home. So that's a great program that we have. We also have our supportive housing program as well, that we're helping people find that safe place to live, helping with rental assistance programs and getting people on their feet and able to sustain rent in a safe environment for them and their family.
So I have a question for you. I mean, as many stories as we've done over the Omaha Home for Boys, is there do you guys do mentorship, or are you looking just for donations to help? I mean, both are amazing, but
yeah, both are amazing. Rules are always changing, in pandemic and outside the pandemic as well. And depending on what age and what group of youth and young adults we're looking at as well. So right now the mentorship part is a little bit harder. Certainly it's those donations. We do different drives throughout the year. It's those monetary donations that are very, very important, that go to do anything from getting kids backpacks when they're participating at our rural 18 school on campus, helping with bus passes. Maybe it's a CNA certification course for somebody, or maybe it's a mattress and a box spring for them to sleep on and then take with them to their new apartment. So it goes and helps all of those things, those physical things, but then also just our programming in general. So
yeah, absolutely. And again, has the organization seen, over the pandemic, has the need, I don't like saying has a need been greater, but a lot of times when there is a crisis happening in the community and in the world, as we're talking about now, you are looking at numbers increasing. Have you seen that?
Well, I'd say what we've seen is it depends on the program you're talking about as well.
Sure.
One thing that we've definitely seen is, like, in our supportive housing program, we've had more people asking for rental assistance. And help with housing and help with other bills so that they can stay on their feet. So that's definitely, we saw an increase there. And, people just over the last 2 years, people were losing jobs. They had employment, they were losing employment, and so we were there, our staff was there to help, guide and mentor and get people back on their feet and provide additional resources when needed, not only to the youth we serve, but also the young adults and then their families as well. So the need definitely was greater for everybody. We had more expenses when talking about our programs and to be able to keep our doors open, and we were able to keep our doors open over the last couple of years, which has been incredible to be able to continue to serve the community and our clients.
Absolutely. Well, let's just go back. We've got about a minute left. Let's go back to the event itself. And again, you've lots of great information on the website. I'll kind of just let you take it from here if you want to talk about tickets. Are you still taking sponsorships?
Yeah, we do still have a few tables that are available. Tables are for 10, and so we have different table prices, but they start at $1,250 for a table of 10, and you can get individual tickets for $125 a piece,
Okay.
or a VIP ticket for $200 a piece, and those are available on our website. And so, yeah, we're really excited. The VIP reception is from 10:30 to 11:30, and then the lunch is from 11:30 to 1, and we're going to be highlighting our different programs overall, just celebrating the huge milestone of 100 years, and then certainly are so excited to listen to Michael Lohr and his keynote speech.
Absolutely. Well, Kelsey, it's so great to see you again. And again, I personally have been looking forward to this event for almost 2 years now. It seems like, because I know the organization started long before 2020, because it is such a huge milestone. Okay, well, I hope, again, OHB, OmahaHomeForBoys.org, OHB.org, to learn more about everything, but also to buy your tickets. And I know this is just going to be an outstanding luncheon.
Yes, yep, we're so excited. We hope to have the community there and help celebrate with us.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's great to see you again, my friend. And we'll see you all at the luncheon. So take care.